Well, hello everybody. I am going to be doing a lesson. We're going to try this using this sketch pad here. So let's get started. So we're going to be talking about giving a tip at a restaurant or wherever it could be. And we're going to use 15% as our tip. So the average, ooh, that's not a good start, people. Here we go. So the average tip is about 15%. So 15% of what? And what does that mean? So I guess it's good to understand kind of what a 15% is and what am I taking 15% of. So you are taking 15% of the subtotal. So the subtotal, this is a little bit hard. Oh, that doesn't work out very well. Undo that. So the subtotal is the amount that you're paying for the goods. So if you went out to eat, it'd be the amount you're paying for just the food itself. So if you bought a burger and fries, how much did the burger and fries cost? That's your subtotal. Um, and so you're paying for a tip 15% of that subtotal. So it's a portion of that the subtotal there. So let's just give some numbers here to give an idea of what this might look like. I'm going to try typing, see if that goes any easier. Well, that's not a good start. So let's say you went to the burger bar and you bought a burger for $7. And you bought some fries, and the fries cost $3. And you bought a drink for $2. Oops. And a drink. Oh, no, it's not. Come on. Over here, man. Over here, man. Why aren't you going, man? What are you doing, man? Anyways, you're gonna get a drink. It's gonna cost $2. Well, it's not letting me write it in though. Ooh, maybe I have to expand it. I'm learning about this. Clearly, it's not going swimmingly. Ooh, okay. And I went out of it somehow. Open back up. There we go. Okay. We're going to try to go back to writing. I got a drink, and your drink was not easy. $2. So think for a second. How am I going to figure out my subtotal? The amount for the goods that I'm buying. So before tax and tip is the subtotal. So I need to use addition, right? So let's get a calculator. Put my calculator here. Is there no way of making my calculator small again? Calculator small. Yeah, here we go. Put it here. I don't need a separate screen. Bah. Okay. So I'm going to do $7 plus $3 plus $2. So everybody pause for a minute and get your subtotal. Give you a second to pause. Pause. I'm looking at you. Pause it. And welcome back. So it is so 7 plus 3 plus 2 is $12. So our subtotal is $12. That's the amount of money that for just the food before tax and everything. So we're just going to be working on tip today. We'll work on tax another day. So now I need to figure out 15% a portion of that $12. So when you're doing percentages, when you're trying to figure out the percentage of a number, you're going to take the percent and you're going to take the end, which would there be a decimal here because that's the ones place, right? So right to the right of the ones place is a decimal. You're going to move that over 2 places. Boop, boop. So you end up with 0.15. Now, for our purposes, guys, we're always going to be using 15% right now. So 15% is 0.15 when we're using it in a calculator right now, the equivalent of 0.15 of something. Okay, so really important, that decimal, 0.15. So now I need to figure out 15% of $12, the subtotal for my burger, fries, and my drink. So now I'm going to get out my calculator. So $12, 15% of $12. Let's get out the calculator again. So what you're going to do in your calculator, guys, is you're going to do some multiplication. You're going to take the amount of money, which is $12. So that is the subtotal. You're going to take whatever that subtotal is, and you're going to multiply that by that 0.15 that I said. So 15%, so 0.15. And so what we get here is 1.8, or because money always has 2 decimals to the right, $1.80. So what that's saying here is the proper tip, a 15% tip for $12 meal would be $1.80. So just to review, if I split the screen, you guys can see that there. So I had to add up the cost of my burger, fries, and my drink to get my subtotal. After I got my subtotal, which was $12, I multiplied it by 0.15, or the equivalent of 15%. So I took in my calculator, I did $12, 12.00, times 0.15, and I got my answer of 1.8. But I added that extra decimal, or that extra place there, so 1.80, to give me $1.80 for a 15% tip. So that is an example. That is how you do a 15% tip. And so what I want you to do is I'm going to add some questions in here, and I want you to do your best to figure out you're going to first add up the subtotal and then get a 15% tip and figure out what that tip would be. Okay. Now, I always like to think if I get a number like 4,242 on a bill of $22, does that make sense? So make sure when you are doing your work that it makes sense. So when you finish it, think to yourself, does this tip make sense? Does a $1,423,000 tip make sense for a $20 bill? I don't think so. All right. So do your best. Ask questions if you don't understand something. Email me. Let me know. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. I hope this goes well.